I'm here. I'm the only one right now. I'm trying to coordinate the rest.
I'm here. I'm, yes, I'm trying to coordinate them. They'll be here shortly.
I'm on, and the rest are going to get on soon. Sure thing.
Yes, sir, I'm around. And the other two members are coming in shortly.
Here, I can see Berak, but Arnold is not yet on, so he'll be on shortly. Yes.
Yes, so I'm trying to contact Debbie. She'll hopefully be here soon.
Yes, Coach Joseph. Matthias is here present. Let me contact my teammates to join in.
Yeah, Naila and Jibril, we're trying to contact Tracy. She'll be arriving shortly.
Sure. I hope I'm audible. All right, cool. So, again, my name is Rin Joash Mavonga, and I will be the tabulation master. That said, up until this point, I anticipate that all of us have got private URLs, save for Ebong. Yeah, Ebong has not got the URL because the email they provided is kind of faulty or something like that. Right. That said, the work here is going to be very simple to ensure that we have check-in done um, in time and at the right time, and then to ensure that you guys give feedback on your open rounds. So unlike for silent rounds, you may not have to do feedback given anyway. So that said, how we do feedback is that using the private URLs sent on your email, check-in can be done by everyone, but then, like for feedback, you just choose one person to do it on your behalf. That is to say, good enough. We have a team captain, so probably team captains can give in feedback on behalf of their team. In case they do roll, they could ask any member of the team to do the feedback given. Then, for all of us, we are meant to necessarily check in for the round. That is like to confirm that our teams are fully constituted and like available for that particular round. So we don't anticipate things like someone did check in and then they're not available. Okay, like Ironman, probably Cap would be sharing on the Ironman policy of this particular engagement. So that said, for all rounds, draws are going to be released, and when draws are released, you will be emailed the draw through the URL that through your URL. You'll be able to receive the draws and then probably the motions when they are released. Thus far, I think there may not be anything very different. Now, like, how do we do all that? So on your private URL, that's where like I kind of asked all of us to kind of bookmark them so that you can easily get back to them during the round and after the round. So when that's done, what you have to do is just have a single tap on that particular link that is in your mailbox, and it gives you provision of either to check in, give feedback, or I think that's it. For judges, then that's when the ballot comes in. So on tapping either option, it automatically checks you in, and that is automatically reflected in like on like tab. So just like to confirm whether you've checked in, there is a public sort of interface, or we have check-in statuses. So if you've checked in successfully, it will show a green highlight to show that you've been checked in. And all those that are not checked in are like kind of in one's microphone. Yes, yes. So at that end, you're able to see whether you've checked in or not checked in for the round anyway. Yeah, and then for feedback, you'll have just to select the judge who judged in that round, give him a best score of between 1 and 5. Of course, not 0, because they listen to your rounds. So depending on the feedback you get during the round, I guess that should be as honest and holistic as such. We'll be able to know which judges need to break probably to judge the finals, or like to judge the break rounds entirely. That is like the use of feedback essentially. So you select the judge, the round you were judged, whether they gave the oral feedback, because in some instances the chair can roll and give their panelists to give feedback. So you might have to select the panelist or probably the chair on who gave feedback, give them a score rankings, whether you agreed with the decision or not, and then finally any comments, sort of positive criticism or some sort of positive remark on like how the round went and how they gave the call anyway. So that said, I think there is nothing much about tab essentially, unless otherwise. Results for all open rounds, that is the non-silent rounds, are going to be available on tab and going to be open. And then we shall also be having team standings on how you've progressed within the open rounds, save for silent rounds that will be released after the break announcement. That said, unless there are any questions or queries, I would be glad to answer them. Good morning.
Everyone, my name is Kristen. I am educating from South Africa. I'm really great to be here. Yeah, like I'm excited for the tournament.
Full name is Viola Pulu. I'm from Zimbabwe and I'm really excited to be part of this tournament. Thank you.
Hi, coach. Thank you so much for the honors and good morning to all of the debaters. I think it's exciting, an exciting moment for ourselves on school that would be having this ride in 2 days. We think this is a very important tournament, and we know all of the emotional rush that is going to be like that comes alongside trials. Um, sorry, can you please mute yourself? All right, thank you, sir. Um, Can you hear me, sir? Okay, great. So like I said this is an exciting moment for ourselves, and we are going to be having 5 rounds and a break to the final. That means we all have to be in our best state for all of those rounds. But two things, and this is going to be very brief. My briefing is going to be very brief. Please, we want you to respect our judges. Our judges, we want you to be very respectful or conscious to them when after they've delivered their OA. We, we know Ugandans to be very respectful people. And we have judges that cut across the continent. We want speakers to be very respectful to them. 2 of our rounds are going to be silent. Round 2 and round 5, they are going to be silent rounds, which means we are not going to be getting we are not going to be getting OA from the judges. Now, for the format, we know the format: 8 minutes speeches and reply speeches and our prep times. Now, let's just run over the types of motions that we are going to be having in this debate. We are going to be having policy motion, the This House would motion. For instance, this house would legalize all drugs. Now, in this type of motions that are policy motion, OG has fiat. So we can, like OG can fiat that the policies would pass a legislative body, and that body can have sufficient fund for them to be able to push those policies. And we understand. I think coach would have done so much in order to teach us our speaking positions, so we would not go over that again. Secondly, we are going to be having this house believe that this house supports this analysis motion. So this has, for instance, this has believed that the United States should interfere in Syria. In this type of motion, you have to tell us, is this statement true or not? Here, there are no fiat power. Like you don't get to decide. You don't get to decide how the intervention is going to happen, or you get to tell us how you think that it's going to play out using analytical reasons. I think those are what we need to know about analysis motion. In this tournament, we are still going to be having prefer motions. For instance, this house prefer a world where humans add or have superpowers. You think you have the question in this debate is to tell us you have to question the statements in this debate. But secondly, there are no fiat power in this type of motions. And up must defend counterfactual, like in the motion. So if there is no counterfactual, up should defend status quo. For this motion, this has preferred a world where humans add superpowers. I think the counterfactual is status quo because humans don't have superpowers now. So I think that is clear. We are going to be having regret motions. For instance, this has regret the glorification of soldiers as heroes. Now, teams must provide a counterfactual in this type of motion. So what would have happened instead of the trend that you are regretting? But secondly, how would the world have looked if this trend hadn't exist? Now, OG does not have the fiat over the counterfactual. So that's how the debate works. And in the fifth type of motion that I'm going to talk about is the actor motion. This house as X would dash. For instance, this house as United Kingdom will economically align itself with China rather than European Union, or this house as NATO would invade Russia. So here the debate takes place from the perspective of the actor, which is the X. Impact only matter as far as that impact the actor, which is X. So not about what is good for the world in terms of generalization in this type of motion, but also how the actors are affected by principle. But lastly, as I round up this short briefing, definitions. We should ask yourself, is this a reasonable definition for the motion? If not, then you can challenge the definitions. I think you can challenge the definitions that the first speaker gives. But lastly, we are going to be having motion clarifications on the cap tab. So if a motion is not clear or there are certain wordings in the motions that teams are not okay with, you can hook up to the Arch 4 and we are going to put clarification to that. Lastly, in this briefing, please keep to timing, avoid unnecessary generalizations. Let's have a nice debate and see you in the finals as we have this amazing ride. Thank you so much once again, Coach, the CAPs, the Arch Core. Thank you for this opportunity. I think that should okay. Yeah, I'm going to just if there are questions, we can just ask one or two questions.